First up tonight, South Korea is warning of a stern response if there's any further deterioration of relations with the North. Seoul's reaction comes after the destruction of a joint liaison office on the border. It stood as a symbol of inter-Korean reconciliation. The building was blown up.
북측의 공동연락사무소 파괴는 남북 관계의 발전과 한반도 평화 정착을 바라는 모든 이들의 기대를 저버린 행위임.
A symbol of diplomacy on the Korean peninsula, reduced to rubbles. North Korea has blown up an Inter-Korean Liaison Office in the border town of Kaesong.
쓰레기들과 이를 묵인한 자들의 죄값을 깨끗이 받아내야 한다는 격노한 민심에 부응하여 북남 사이의 모든 통신 연락선들을 차단해버린 데 이어 우리 측 해당 부문에서는 개성 공업지구에 있던 북남 공동연락사무소를 완전 파괴시키는 조치를 실행했습니다. 16일 14시 50분 요란한 폭음과 함께 북남 공동연락사무소가 비참하게 파괴됐습니다.
This follows Pyongyang's increasingly threatening rhetoric. Just days ago, Kim Yo-jong, the sister of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, warned that the facility would be gone. The Inter-Korean Liaison Office was set up back in 2018 to facilitate exchange and cooperation. It was the first permanent physical communication center, enabling face-to-face contact at any time.
북남 공동연락사무소가 개설됨으로써 쌍방은 북남 관계에서 제기되는 문제들을 빠른 시간 내에 호심탄회하게 논의하고 필요한 대책을 강구해 나갈 수 있게 되었으며 관계 개선과 발전을 적극 추동하고 조선반도의 평화와 번영, 통일을 향하여 큰 보폭을 내짚을 수 있게 되었습니다.
This step was taken after a historic meeting between North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and South Korean President Moon Jae-in, where they promised to reconcile their countries' relationship. But tensions have since escalated between the two sides. The recent trigger is anti-Pyongyang leaflets being sent into North Korea by defectors living in the South. Pyongyang has then vowed to deal with the South as an enemy.
Lee Min-suk joins us now from Busan for more on this. So, Yoon-suk, how has the government responded since the explosion?
Well, the presidential office held a National Security Council meeting about 2 hours after North Korea blew up that facility, and it released a statement saying that it was very regretful that North Korea took those actions, and that if North Korea takes any more provocative actions, it will strongly respond. Now, the statement also said that this action today abandons the hopes of everyone who wanted to see the development of inter-Korean ties and also peace here in the Korean Peninsula, adding that the full responsibility of the situation lies totally on North Korea. The defense minister here also released a separate statement saying that the South Korea's military was maintaining a readiness posture to ensure that there's no escalation of tension here on the Korean Peninsula, and that it maintains this readiness posture at all times. Now, the defense ministry also says that it has tightened surveillance and it will be monitoring the situation 24 hours. And should North Korea take any military action, the South Korean military here will also be taking action. And so very tense here on the Korean Peninsula, because this is really the most provocative action that North Korea has taken since the leaders of South Korea and North Korea met 2 years ago, and we were seeing more of this warming ties between the two Koreas.
So you mentioned that tense relations. This also comes as North Korea's military says that it stands ready to re-enter areas that have been disarmed under agreements with South Korea. How is Seoul taking this threat now then?
Well, South Korea is taking it very seriously, and even this morning before North Korea blew up that facility, South Korea was saying that it was taking this seriously and was monitoring the situation. And in fact, South Korean President Moon Jae-in yesterday, marking the 20th anniversary since the first historic summit between the two Koreas, were urging North Korea to come forward for dialogue and saying that North Korea should not backtrack on the agreements that the two leaders made when they met in the Truth Village of Panmunjom Panmunjom and also in Pyongyang 2 years ago. But after this action, we have officials here and experts saying that they do believe North Korea is going to go ahead with the actions, and this is not just going to be verbal threats that we've been hearing from North Korea in recent days. Now, what happened after that? The two Koreas signed that agreement was that South and North Korea started removing their troops from the demilitarized zone, and also the guard posts that were along the borders between South and North Korea were also demolished. Now North Korea is threatening to put back those troops on the borderline, on the border between South and North Korea, and also it's very possible that North Korea could start arming its military and its soldiers in the front line, as it has threatened to do so, because following that agreement between South and North Korea, the soldiers along the borders were disarmed, and also those soldiers at the truth village of Panmunjom, where they are facing each other face to face, they too have been disarmed. But it looks very likely that the North Koreans could go ahead and bring troops back into the demilitarized zone and start arming their soldiers again. And so very tense here, and I'm sure that the South Korean government is watching the situation very closely, and as the military has said, it is ready for any kind of provocative actions by North Korea.
Yes, and thank you for watching it for us as well. Lim Yun-suk there speaking to us from Busan.